Royal Rebounds TV with Calvin and Barry. Just two crazy fans of the Sacramento Kings, and they sharing their opinion. So be sure that you subscribe. It's for the fans, by the fans. Whether you chilling on the couch or wildin' in the stand. For laid back conversations about the Kings, subscribe here. Staying down until we come up thinking this gon' be our year. We're here, drinking beer, talking about the Kings. Be sure you subscribe so you can hear that bell ring, yeah.
What's up, Kings fans? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds, the Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans, by fans. If you're a Kings fan, make sure you smash up that like button down below. And while you're down there, you might as well hit that subscribe button. As you can see, Calvin is gone. He is on vacation. He is having a blast in Michigan. And I got my boy Skip here to join me today from Sackdown Breakdown. Skip, what's up, man? How are you today?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Anytime I can come on here and talk with, even just half of the Royal Rebounds, it's always a good time. So happy to be here with you, Barry. And Cal, I hope you're doing well out there.
Yeah, buddy. It always feels good talking to some Kings fans. That's why we're here, right? Shout out to Fred. I see you here in the chat. What is up, Fred? Thank you for joining us. We got a good show today. We got a Skip here. We got Sacktown Pete's going to call in a few minutes. We got a ton of things to discuss today. We're going to talk about Keegan Murray and his odds at Rookie of the Year. We're going to talk about the Chet Holmgren injury. We're going to talk about the center position for the Sacramento Kings. And then we got a bunch of other things talking about coaching. We're going to talk about some potential trades, what this means for De'Aaron Fox. And then we're going to end the show with kind of a fun little game, little exercise. We're going to build our starting five of all-time greats. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the end. Also, shout out to Brian. Brian, thank you for joining us. I see you here in the chat. What is up? All right, Skip. Let me just let me get Pete here on the phone, and then we can go ahead and get started. But I just want to hear from you. Here. Yeah, I just want to hear from you real quick, since we haven't talked for a couple months. Tell me how you're feeling about the whole offseason overall, because I'm stoked, but I want to hear from you.
Absolutely, yeah. As some of you may have known, the Sacktown Breakdown has been broken down. It was just a lot to take, as things started getting rough last season. But the Sacktown Breakdown is coming back because I am very, very pleased with a lot of the moves that Monte McNair has been able to make. They've been a lot of sensible moves. We're going to have Fox and Ox for a whole season. Both of them do their work in the paint, right? Both of them are playmakers too. You got a playmaker at the big spot, playmaker, as the point of attack on your offense. So best thing to do with two people that do their work in the paint and only shoot so from beyond the arc is surround them with shooters. So going out and, making trades to acquire Kevin Huerter, of course, also acquiring or drafting Keegan Murray. Hey, Pete's in here. Oh no, they can hear it. Well, they can. Okay, that's what's up. Drafting Keegan Murray. We saw we could do before. Before we drafted him. We saw, where he's at and how NBA ready he is right now. And then we also went and got Fox's brother, his best friend. We're running back the good old times. We're running back the hits with grabbing Malik Monk. And it's nice that all three of those dudes shoot right at that 40% level. And then in addition to that, Harrison Barnes shooting at that level. So we took our two playmakers, our two paint people, and then we surrounded them with shooters. So as people are cutting, as De'Aaron Fox is getting pick and rolls and probing and the defense is collapsing, we got shooters to knock down shots all around. So very sensible moves. And then, of course, we know our Achilles heel is our defense. And we went and we got, a very defensive-minded coach and Mike Brown, someone who y'all remember those NBA seasons, especially those postseasons and those finals where the Warriors were going up against teams, and what was their offensive scheme? Attack Curry. Let's switch our best scorer onto Curry, and then from there we're gonna have him. We're just gonna attack him. Well, Mike Brown fortified Curry. He upped that team defense, and now people don't look at Curry as the weak link anymore. in that defense. So, hopefully if we can just elevate ourselves from, we were like 28th, 29th, 30th in defensive rating. If we can just get ourselves to 20th, if we can get to 19th with the way our offense is going to be flowing and going, things are going to be looking pretty good. So I'm pretty excited.
Hell yeah, man. I am really excited about this season. This has got to be the most stacked Kings team in a really, really long time. So I am absolutely ecstatic for the season this year. I think it's going to be a good one. And I know we're going to talk about this here in a little bit, but obviously the Lakers made a trade yesterday for Pat Beverly. The Lakers and the Kings are potentially fighting for one of the last playoff position spots this season. So what does that mean for you, Skip? What do you think? What do you think about this acquisition? Because we all knew, as amazing a player Russell Westbrook is, he was not that guy, right?
Not in this situation, Russ wasn't the guy in this situation. I'm one of those people. I still got a lot of respect for Russ, and I still respect what his game is, and what he can do on the floor and all of that. But the fact of the matter is, we've seen that it's not the best pairing when it's him out there, and his lack of consistent shooting has really done a number, to not just the offensive flow, but the frustration of the Lakers, as well as, just the morale of the team. So, getting Pat Bev, someone who's Aggie, someone who's going to bring, some bravado, someone's going to bring some defensive grit to the team. Someone who's got the, the stones, if you will, to even, chirp at Bron or chirp at AD, to incite them, to get them back in the proper attack and aggressive mind state, I believe is going to pay dividends for the Lakers. And of course, that spells, that does not bode well for the Sacramento Kings, us being in the Pacific Division and having to play, we got to play the Lakers, we got to play Phoenix, we got to play the Warriors multiple times.
Don't get me started.
And the Clippers. Kawhi is like buff now. He was already big before, but he's ripped now, man. It's going to be tough for us, bro.
I haven't seen the photos. I definitely got to check it out, but I want to welcome in. We got Sacktown Pete on the phone. What is up, Pete? Welcome in. Can you hear me, Pete?
Satisfied with your message, press 1 to listen to your message. Press 2
We're leaving a voicemail for Pete. Hold on one second. Let me try this one more time. This is you got to love technology, right? It works great when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a whole nother story. But let me call him in real quick here. We'll have him here in a second.
Yeah.
Hello.
Pete, welcome in.
Hey, Barry, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, man? We got you here on live with Skip and I. Welcome in, man. How are you today?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, man. Despite the technical difficulties I'm happy to be here. What's going on, Skip? It's good to be here, man. Thank you for having me on.
My brother. Yeah, it's good to hear your voice, man. Been tuning into the videos, been, leaving the comments, and now we get to chat it up with Barry, 3 top Kings fans, what I'm saying, sharing the Kings news and the love. Let's talk about these topics.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's go ahead here. We're going to jump into topic number 1, and that is the NBA Rookie of the Year odds. I'm sure both of you guys know Chet Holmgren obviously got injured on Saturday at the Pro-Am. Unfortunate event. I know they canceled the game at halftime due to the slippery floor. I don't think that had anything to do with the injury, but they diagnosed it today as a Liz Frank injury. He's out the entire year, which really helps a lot of these other guys in the Rookie of the Year odds. I see Keegan Murray number 2 on this list, which I'm pretty stoked about. But Pete, I want to hear from you, man. How are you feeling about Rookie of the Year odds for Keegan Murray?
I love it. Unfortunately, prayers and thoughts to Chet. Hopefully wish him a speedy recovery. Just sucks to see him go down for the rest of the season. And that just makes Keegan's chances higher to win the Rookie of the Year award. I like it. I think he's got a great chance of winning it. I do see him starting in the starting lineup as the day 1 starter. So that's only going to, help him, his chances and make him compete to get that Rookie of the Year spot. So yeah, I'm excited to see him. So
awesome. What do you think, Skip? You think Keegan's got a good shot at Rookie of the Year? And I want to know, like, if your life is on the line, who are you taking for Rookie of the Year this season?
Yeah, Keegan's definitely got a good shot at it. A lot of that is going to depend on, if he's starting, right out of the gate. To have an actual shot, I believe he's got to be in the starting lineup consistently no later than 10 games into the season. Got to be playing major minutes, meaningful minutes. He doesn't have to end the games. I'm fine with the lineup where Harrison Barnes is at that 4 spot. Maybe we got, Herter in there and even Davion, for some defense next to Fox with the Ox, obviously at the 5 in that lineup. I'm good with something like that. But if we're talking about Keegan Murray, being able to put up enough attempts, being able to grab enough rebounds, being able to impact the game enough to show that he's deserving of that, to show that he's earned that, unquestionably, then he's going to have to be starting early on in the season. Now, with that said, if there was, the proverbial gun to my head, I'm giving it to Paulo Banchero, just because, I know Magic is going to start him out the gate. We know that they're going to be putting the ball in his hands a lot for a lot of possessions. They're also not trying to really win games. So, to give him the opportunity to just grow, attempt to score, get the flow of the NBA game, see how these refs react to him, all of that, he's going to be given every opportunity. And I know they know that. So in addition to the natural leanings of having him have the ball and everything and work out his, his NBA game, they want some positive publicity. They are the Sacramento Kings of the East. So for them to be able to say, hey, we've got the Rookie of the Year this year, bodes well for them and puts confidence in their fans.
Yeah, I agree. I love Keegan Murray's chance, but you're right. Like, he's got to be starting, and it's got to be early on in the season. I think guys like Jabari Smith, even though he didn't play exceptionally well in Summer League, but Jabari Smith and Paulo maybe have a better shot at it just because those teams aren't really trying to win games, right? Like, if you're Sacramento, this whole season to me is about ending the streak, right? And as much as you'd love to empower Keegan Murray, make him the starter at the 4, and I think he will end up being the starter, but will he get the minutes from day one is yet to be seen. So as much as I love to say Keegan Murray is my favorite for Rookie of the Year, I think I agree with you. It's probably going to be Paulo and then maybe a guy like Jabari Smith, but you never know. Having Chet Holmgren out of this entire question really opens things up for a guy like Keegan Murray, a guy like Jaden Ivey. So it's an interesting situation. I know you mentioned starters, and that's kind of a perfect segue into our next topic. Let's talk about starting center for the Sacramento Kings, right? Because Calvin and I have had this discussion over the past few weeks on whether it will be Rashawn Holmes or Domantas Sabonis. Who gets that starting role? What that means for a guy like Keegan Murray, right? So I want to hear from you first, Pete. Who do you think should be the starting center for the Sacramento Kings? And if it's not Rashawn Holmes, what kind of role do you see for Rashawn?
The starting center for the Sacramento Kings is going to be Domantas Sabonis. There's a reason why we traded for him. The big that can move like that can play like he does with Aaron Fox. I think Domantas Sabonis is in for a big season. I know he's playing overseas right now for his country, and wish him the best of luck to that. But deep down, it's killing me that he's over there because I want him here in Sacramento, getting ready for camp with the rest of the fellas. But Domantas Sabonis will be starting at the 5. I think it's going to mean a lot for Keegan Murray as well. We know about his high IQ offensively and his ability to pass the ball. Keegan Murray's going to get a lot of open looks playing alongside next to Domantas Sabonis, whether it's cutting to the basket or even spotting up his shooting, because we all know the attention Domantas Sabonis draws with this style of play. And what it means for Rashawn Holmes, the role I want for Rashawn Holmes is to be like a Dennis Rodman type of player. Know your role, hustle, grind, rebound the ball, block shots, run up and down the court, and just catch and dunk the ball. And I think he can thrive with that. I really wanted to see him play, say, in the second half of the season. But let's face it, he had a lot going on, off the court and even on the court, getting with those nagging injuries. And I feel like he's rejuvenated. He's hungry. He's been working his tail off this whole summer. And I think that Rashawn Holmes is going to be a big, valuable asset for us this upcoming season. I think his role is going to really his style of play is going to fit in well with what Coach Brown is trying to do to this roster. So I will say that Sabonis will get the nod at the 5, and Rashawn Holmes will be having that role off the bench with providing energy and being that spark plug off the bench.
So are you starting Keegan Murray at the 4, like from the very get-go, or what does that mean?
I think we're really high on Keegan Murray, and I think that he does get the start at the 4, which means Barnes. I have Barnes starting at the 3. Good old Black Falcon, the veteran, and I have, if we're talking about the 1, the 2, De'Aaron, it's a no-brainer. He's going to be the 1, and I actually have Kevin Huerter starting at the 2. I know we got Malik Monk and we signed him, and there's been debate about him starting alongside De'Aaron Fox and be united with Fox. But I think that Kevin Huerter has as good as chances starting at the 2 over Malik Monk. But as far as the 4 goes, I do like Keegan Murray at the 4. And this is no knock on Rashawn Holmes at all. I just think that Keegan Murray, the play style and the fit offensively, is better suited with Domantas Sabonis at that 4 and 5 tandem.
What do you think, Skip? Disagree or agree?
Yeah, I'm rolling with my man Pete on this one. I got Sabonis starting at the 5. It just makes the most sense. We traded for him. He's here now. Ideally, I wanted, more of a rim protector at the 5. But, with the opportunity that we had, to trade, a number 11 or 12 pick, to get a former All-Star. And he's such a playmaker. He came in and with no practice, he had guys, whizzing around him, cutting, he's doing dribble handoffs. He's doing, handoff setting screens. I mean, he's just orchestrating an offense immediately with no practice time, just dry, stepping right onto the floor. And then Monty is really smart. With the Sacramento Kings, we got to make incremental change. So the idea is if you cannot have a rim protector, the next best thing you can have in the paint on defense is someone who can eliminate a lot of those second chance points that used to kill us and frustrate us Kings fans and lead to, those single possession losses all those seasons. And Domantas Sabonis is exactly that guy. So if you can't protect the rim, do your best to make a miss and snatch that ball back away from him and start that fast break. That makes the most sense to me. Holmes is going to be coming off the bench. He excelled so much off the bench while Mr. Deadman, was not doing good as a starter. He earned a starting spot. So, I mean, we know he's good off the bench and we got a better center. So let's just put him right back on there. He's getting paid a salary that I believe is justifiable off of there. And what that does is, now our bench got a bunch of bucket getters, some playmakers and defenders with, our guy Davion, at the point of attack, for our bench roster. And then we got Holmes, shoring things up in the paint, swatting everything. He's knocking planes out of the sky that are headed to Sac International. I mean, it's going to be looking pretty ugly. Mike Brown is going to love our second string guys in the defense that they play.
Yeah, good point. Many people think it's going to be the year of the Fox. I think this is going to be the year of the Ox. This is a full year of Domantas Sabonis on the Sacramento Kings. And great point, right? If you can't protect the rim, at least you can get rebounds and prevent second chance points, something that has absolutely destroyed the Sacramento Kings over the last few seasons. So good point there. And yeah, I think Rashawn Holmes coming off the bench will actually help him out a lot. Playing against some of these second-tier guys in the NBA, I think he's absolutely going to feast. It'll be interesting to see if he can pick up any chemistry with Davion. Maybe they play a little pick-and-roll game because we know Rashawn is one of the best pick-and-roll guys, one of the best roll big men in the league. So I expect a big year out of him. Do either of you think that Rashawn Holmes is on this Kings roster at the end of the season, or do they kind of rebuild his trade value and he's gone at the deadline?
I think a lot of it depends on where the team. Yeah. I think a lot of it depends on where they are in terms of wins and losses. If I have a gut feeling right now, I think he'll stick around for the rest of the season. I think, especially if he's playing really well off the bench, and if he's one of those, players that we need coming off the bench, provide that, instant plug, spark plug off the bench with Davion and everybody else. I think he'll have a big role for Coach Mike Brown, and I don't see us, dealing him by the trade deadline. I think he's a keeper.
You think so too, Skip?
My bad. Remind me, I was in the chat.
Rashawn Holmes, will he be on the Kings roster by the end of the season?
Yeah, I believe so. I just know Mike Brown is just going to fall in love with them. Obviously we already see the relationship forming. Rashawn was one of the people that was at the press conference. Coach Mike Brown, with this team, is going to frustrate the hell out of Coach Mike Brown this year. But a few people that are going to be the least of his frustrations, the few people that are going to keep him out of UC Davis ER, having being stressed out and having a heart attack, is Davion Mitchell and Rashawn Holmes. So just for the mental well-being of our coach, Monty McNair is going to have to hang on to him unless he gets something that significantly puts our team over the top. I mean, I'm talking about, a superstar level talent. That's the only way I can see Rashawn Holmes in his very team-friendly contract moving on from the Sacramento Kings before the end of the season.
I want to give a shout out to Jeff, Alfie Man, Fred, Brian, Charlie, Gilberto, Phoenix. I see you guys all in the chat here. Mike, thank you guys for joining us. If you're a Kings fan, make sure you smash up that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button because we do these things all the time. We're Kings fans. We have a lot of fun, and we're here doing it. Skip's drinking Gatorade because he's got to get hydrated during the podcast. We got to be ready, man. You got to have electrolytes. So, Skip, I know you're all refreshed now. I want to ask you, what is the biggest obstacle for the Sacramento Kings this season?
The biggest obstacle for the Sacramento Kings this season is going to be the consistency and the defensive commitment of De'Aaron Fox. I just don't see anything. I don't see a bigger hurdle than that. I mean, obviously we're in the Pacific Division, no doubt about it, and that's a hurdle in itself. But I mean, we're at the point where we need to see him. There's no secondary ball handler to take the ball away from him in the starting lineup anymore. There is another playmaker, but he starts our offense. He runs our offense. And then on the flip side, he can't be playing Olay defense anymore. He can't be a revolving door. He can't lean on his name Swiper and reach in, you know what I mean? Like overcommitting himself and being like, oh, he blew by me, I didn't get the swipe. Like, that's not going to do it anymore. Luke Walton was okay with that because he's a player's coach or whatever. And Alvin Gentry didn't like it, but there was only so much Alvin Gentry can yell because, I mean, goodness, the man is 92 years old. I'm surprised he's, still able to get on flights, right? So Mike Brown is going to have to get that out of De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox is going to have to commit to locking down more and just staying consistent. He's like, what does De'Aaron Fox has to do? He has to not be a revolving door on defense. He has to shoot at least 75% from the free throw line, and he has to at least this season, please, for the love of God, De'Aaron Fox, please shoot 32% from three. if he does all of those things, if he shoots 77 from the line and he shoots 34 from three, De'Aaron Fox is averaging damn near 30 points per game. Like,
yep.
I mean, the guy could, and if the Kings are winning, he could go from, he thinks he's Ja, he wishes he was Ja to, I mean, is De'Aaron Fox getting considered for MVP? The Kings are winning. The dude's averaging 31 points per game. Like, that's what's got to happen. That's the biggest obstacle.
I love it. All right, Pete, I want to hear your biggest obstacle for the Kings this season.
Man, so I know Skip is talking about the defense in De'Aaron Fox. Man, I think the biggest obstacle of the season is the Western Conference ladder. I mean, honestly speaking, I mean, yes, our team has dramatically
Everybody got
improved this
better.
offseason, but it's like the teams that missed out on the playoffs last season, the Lakers, the Clippers, and even the Spurs, just, hovering around us, even though they're going into full rebuild mode. They still have Popovich, running the show over there, and they'll still find a way to be competitive, at least to say. But I think that's just seeing the Western Conference and the teams that I mentioned that missed out on the playoffs that are going to be in the hunt this season. I mean, Kawhi is looking like he's like on roids, man. Like, he looks insane and he's in shape. Paul George is going to be hungry because he's coming off, an injury, and he's going to be healthy and ready to go. The Kings got to get with it, man. Honestly speaking, they got to play better defense. We've seen. I'm not too worried about the offensive side of things, but defensively, this is why you bring in a defensive-minded coach like Mike Brown to improve your defense. We've seen it over the years. Offense was never the issue. Defense has always been the issue, and until they start playing defense, nothing's going to change. You got to make the commitment on the defensive end, and not just only De'Aaron Fox, but as a group. Davion Mitchell can't be the only guarding on the defensive end, running around chasing Curry or whoever it may be. D Fox has got to make that commitment on that end. Until then, nothing's going to change, and I think he's aware of that. And knowing that he's aware of that, I think you'll see a different De'Aaron Fox in the defensive end this season. He's going to be committed to being a better defender, individual defender, and he's going to be, barking at the team as well to be better defensively overall as a team. But the Western Conference is going to be tough, man. And I think that the Kings defensively, if they are better, they should climb the ladder in the Western Conference. I mean, honestly speaking, I think that's what we all want to see, is because we know the offense is not going to be an issue. Offensively, this team is talented. Adding you add the shooters that you did with the offseason. This team is going to be great offensively, but defensively, that's where it starts, man. Defensively, they got to be better, and in order to climb the Western Conference ladder, they got to be better defensively on the court.
Yeah, good point. For me, I'm taking the obvious answer. I think the biggest obstacle this season will be the Sacramento Kings, right? They keep doing the same things over and over. They get blown out in the third quarter. They're stuck trying to fight back in the fourth. They win games that they're not supposed to win. They lose games that they're not supposed to lose. So for me, the biggest obstacle for the Kings this season is going to be themselves. They need to win the games that they're supposed to win. They need to protect home court advantage. And they just got to try, man. They got to claw. They got to fight. The Western Conference is a rough conference. We play in the toughest division in the NBA. But the bottom line, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win games. You got to beat teams. Straight up, that's what the Kings need to do. But Skip, Pete, we got another topic. Pete just keeps dropping me these perfect transitions. He mentioned Mike Brown and the defense. So let's discuss the defense. So, Pete, I want to hear from you. Mike Brown, former coach of the year, is now here in Sacramento. He just won a championship with the Golden State Warriors. I know if they had lost the championship, everyone would have been like, oh, Mike Brown is your head coach in Sacramento. What are you guys going to do now? But they won. He got no praise. But I want to hear from you, Pete. What's Mike Brown going to bring to Sacramento? What difference is he going to make?
Mike Brown's going to hold players accountable, especially on the defensive end. We've seen the defensive schemes, and, when his time was in the Golden State with the Warriors, talking to Curry, talking to Draymond, just that consistent communication on defensive end, calling up the shots. And I think it's a great pickup, honestly speaking. I mean, our defense has not been the best over the last, decade. And, and you finally bring in a defensive-minded coach, and Coach Brown, who's going to preach defense. And I think he's going to help fix this defensive for the Kings defensively overall as a team. He's going to make De'Aaron Fox a better defender, as we discussed earlier. He's going to hold them accountable. You got to hold your star players accountable if they are not good defensively. I think he's going to make Sabonis a better defender as well. And just overall the team in itself, just have them communicating, rotating defensively, And I think the Kings should be better defensively, because when you bring in a defensive-minded coach and a Coach Brown like that, you should be better defensively. I know one player in particular he doesn't have to worry about when it comes to defensive end, and that's Davion Mitchell. Davion
Your
Mitchell
boy.
is going to give it his – yeah. I mean, Davion Mitchell, he's going to be on the court during crunch time for Coach Brown because of his defense. You got to have him out there on the court because of his defense, and I feel like he doesn't have to worry about Davion Mitchell. But it's about getting everybody else on the same page with Davion when it comes to the defensive end. And I think they're going to be better defensively. Technically, I mean, that's why you bring in a coach like him, because you're supposed to be making that jump from being a, better defensive team the next season. And I think Mike Brown's going to do really well with that.
Yeah, what do you think, Skip? I mean, obviously this is probably the most decorated head coach that the Kings have had since maybe George Karl, right? We had a Luke Walton. We had, I mean, Alvin Gentry's been in the league for a long time, but he doesn't have a Coach of the Year award. You have, I loved Yeager. I love Mike Malone. What are your thoughts on Mike Brown? What does he bring to Sacramento? What does he do differently than all these other guys?
What he does differently is what Steph Curry talked about when he was asked at that golfing, that golfing, how am I forgetting the word, like charity event, when he was asked by our local media. And the biggest thing he's going to do is he's going to command commitment and accountability. And at this point, that is the number one thing that we were missing. I mean, y'all remember the days? Remember when Garrett Temple was here and it was effort? Kings just don't give enough effort. Remember the effort days?
Yeah.
I feel like the effort is there more, but what I feel like is still missing is the commitment and the accountability. Effort was being given, but people weren't held accountable for their mistakes, and you could tell because people continued to repeat mistakes. So those are the biggest things that he's going to bring. He's going to bring structure. He's going, he seems like more of a, and when I say confrontational, I don't mean in a negative way. Confrontation could be good if the root cause is really trying to address the issue, to resolve it and have a better path going forward for everybody with respect. And I believe he's more of a confrontational kind of guy. And I think that you have to be confrontational, or you have to be okay with confrontation in order to be held accountable, because you have to confront the behavior, via the individual. So I think that those are the biggest things he's going to bring. And I know there's going to be a defensive scheme. And we've heard Jordy, with his, part of Mike Brown's, coaching tree, his support group. We know Jordy don't give 4 Fs. We all heard him say that. So we're going to have some grit, but accountability and structure, are going to be the key things.
Yeah, great points. I think the first thing you said there, right, and not that he's an aggressive guy or someone that's, going to be super aggressive, but he's going to hold people accountable. He's going to call them out. He's not going to let things fester or kind of build up to become an issue. It's like, we have a problem at practice. We're going to handle it right now. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to move forward. It's not going to be, okay, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it. Oh, it wasn't the right time. He just stands out to me as the no BS guy, right? So I think that's perfect for this roster. And as I mentioned, he's pretty decorated compared to what we've had recently. So maybe he has a little bit more respect factor as well. You have guys like Steph Curry standing up for you. That's always good. Always good. All right, let's talk about this Donovan Mitchell situation. Pretty crazy to think that this guy is still available. We know the Jazz are completely blowing it up. And then whatever crazy stuff is happening with the Nets right now, if you can even keep track of that, whether they want to trade, they don't want to trade, it's all over the place. But I want to hear from you first, Pete. Should the Kings make an offer for Donovan Mitchell? And, what should they really offer? This article by Clutch Sports has them giving up Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, Kevin Huerter, a 2026 first-round pick, a 2028 first-round pick, 2025, 2027, and 2029 first-round pick swaps. I don't think the Kings are actually able to even give up the 2026 first-round pick at this point because it is protected due to the Kevin Huerter trade. But just overall, Pete, do the Kings have enough, or would you love to see them go after and maybe take a swing for the fences with a guy like Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, man. Great, talented player. You make this trade, you pair him, you have a big three with him, Fox, and Sabonis. I'm going to say, as much as I love what I saw from Keegan Murray this summer and excited to see him, and as much as I love Davion Mitchell, sometimes in life you got to take risks. And I think that Donovan Mitchell, his talents and his caliber of play, the player that he is, that pushes the needle, especially if you're not giving up De'Aaron Fox or Domantas Sabonis. I think, obviously, I don't think that in any way, like you mentioned, like the 2026 first round is tied up with the Kev trade, Huerter trade, should I say. I think that you would take the risk of getting a player like a bona fide star in return in Mitchell, and you ride it out with them, and you put them with Fox and Sabonis. And if that offer's on the table, I mean, my gut feeling deep down, yeah, I would do it. I would do it. And where does that put the Kings in the picture? Are they the outside looking in still with Donovan Mitchell on your roster? I don't think so. I think they're in the picture especially if you acquire at his level of talent to put with the Fox and the Ox. What's your take on this, Skip? I'm eager to hear from you.
And this is a star that's locked up long term, right?
And exactly, and that's another thing. You're not just trading for a 1 year, Donovan Mitchell rental. You're pretty much trading for, a guy who's locked up, who's, let's just say he's entering his prime. He's still relatively young, and he's locked up. So without a doubt, I mean, if he wasn't locked up, then obviously no, you wouldn't. But you have to ensure that he would be committing to sign if he's not locked up. But in this case, he's locked up, and I think you would have to pull the trigger.
What do you think, Skip?
Man, this one is really tough for me. Just the toughest part. I mean, there's the obvious part. It's Donovan Mitchell. It's more all-star talent. Now you got two former all-stars and someone who can play at an all-star level. In De'Aaron Fox. So you've got that. Oh, man, I like the defense is like Donovan Mitchell is not a good defensive player. He's not like I think Mike Brown can, again, put it more into him to be more of a team defender, but he's not a good defensive player. He's got good length for the size that he is, but he's a little undersized. Then you already got De'Aaron Fox, being one of the worst defenders at the point guard spot last season and even the season before that. So, I mean, you're putting two guys there that you got one that can space the floor and, he could slash. You got another one who could slash and who could really play make. But you have to shore up them on defense and get them to commit, because otherwise it's just going to be an arms race. It's just going to be, in every game it's whoever scores the most points wins. But so if Davion's gone, you can't be like, okay, let's swap out Donovan for Davion. Everything that you have to give up so much to get him, and then if things don't work out, you have to trade him and try to get as much back because you're still stuck in hell. And then Sabonis is not a rim protector. You know what? It just, even if we can trade for him, doesn't it just seem a little too good to be true, Kings fans? It'd be a little too good to be true that this would just fix our issues, wasn't it? I'm going to go no-go.
That's a tough one, man. I mean, you get your big three, right? That's what everyone wants, is they want their big three of stars, and then they want to kind of surround them But I don't know, man. I'm on the fence on this one. I see what both of you guys are saying. I love the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball is where it gets a little bit tricky here. And yeah, I don't know, man. That's a lot to give up. And you know, Pete, I watch your video about KD. You know, regardless of whatever, you know, like, it takes a lot to get a really good player of that caliber, right? And you have to give up so much that maybe it sets your team back. And when you have a guy like, okay, I'm going to call Sabonis an all-star. De'Aaron Fox hasn't not made an all-star team yet. I think he will. He has that potential. But it's like you're basically giving up everybody else for one guy. If that guy gets injured, maybe you look like the Nuggets last year, but you don't have Jokic to drag your ass to the playoffs. So that's a tough one, man. That's really tough. Pete, you got a rebuttal on Skip on that one?
No, I mean, like I said, I think that it's I get the concerns if you trade for him, and then what else do you have to left on your roster to fill? That's why you got to bring in these guys, these 1-year rentals, and these players that are that are willing to come and play, to give themselves a chance to get this team, in the playoffs or in the hunt, even possibly go the distance in the playoffs. But I mean, like I said, it's defensively, yeah, Donovan Mitchell is not the defender that Davion Mitchell is, and I feel like that will be an issue. But I feel at the same time, I feel like he's still obviously relatively young, and I feel like Coach Brown would hold him accountable and make him a better defender. But I just feel like, man, when's the last time the Sacramento Kings have had 3 star type of players all together playing together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think that if that offer is on the table, you at least, you don't pull the trigger. You may not pull the trigger, but at least you entertain the offer and see, okay, well, let's see, if this, is Monty's, vision? Is this part of Monty's visions? Can you have Donovan Mitchell play alongside with Fox and Sabonis? And I think you can. But how do they look defensively? Can Mike Brown hold them all accountable on the defensive end? And can they be together playing defensively on the defensive end? So as much as I want to rebuttal and say, no, I was just joking, guys. No, I won't do this trade. I at least would entertain it, and I think I still would do it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to bring talent to Sacramento, right? And if you want to get good players, you got to give up good assets. So I think that's a good point. Yep. Would either of you guys entertain maybe Fox and a first or maybe 2 first-round picks straight up? Skip, I'll let you go first.
I would consider that more. Yeah, I would consider that a little more. And I say that as someone who I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I love the guy. You watch, we have the idea of De'Aaron Fox, whether it's good or bad, and then we have what we see when you watch him play. I mean, the guy, he's gotten to the point where he's damn near unguardable. He was cooking Kawhi and all that stuff. Guy's just fantastic. But yeah, I would say I'm more so for Fox and a pick, or even Fox and a pick and maybe a player, but definitely not 2 first-round picks. No.
It's very intriguing. I just really think that I don't think so. I don't think Monty would be quick to pull the plug on De'Aaron Fox. Just knowing that we traded for Sabonis, back in February, I would think that, granted that they've only played 15 games together, I think that Monty sees, this team is centered around Fox, and he has Sabonis that he's paired him with, and I think that the goal is to keep that going, keep the Fox and Knox duo going. I don't think that I wouldn't do the trade for getting De'Aaron straight up for Donovan in the first-round draft pick. I think that Monty is set in stone of keeping Fox around, and there's a reason why he brought in Sabonis, and that is to keep Fox around and continue to build the team around De'Aaron Fox. So.
Yeah, I think I do see the interesting combination of Davion Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell, because they're both smaller guards, but the defensive presence of a guy like Davion makes me a little bit more willing to take on a guy like Donovan. Like maybe he can kind of help out. But yeah, it's really a tough question. I got to give a shout out to Skip. He's taking care of the chat. I love it, man. You're interacting with everybody. Shout out to Tito here. I hope you like my background. You should. It is your home arena. So appreciate you guys. Perfect segue here into De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, this is his year. This is the year he needs to prove it. I think he's going into, the second year of this max deal. He finally has a teammate that can run with him. So I want to hear from you, Skip, first. How much pressure is on De'Aaron Fox this season? And if the Kings, I guess, fail, to make the playoffs, does this all fall on De'Aaron Fox? Is he the guy that gets the blame and is on his way out the door? Or what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to split this kind of like down the middle into two different sections of people, two different groups of people. On a Kings fans level, we're closer to the game. We're watching intently. Kings fans, for the most part, I believe are pretty good observational, basketball, analyzers for the most part. So I think we would be able to tell if it was or if it wasn't on him and make the distinction. And then we would place, appropriate blame where it would go. Sabonis's performance isn't being questioned. The biggest question mark as far as performance is Fox. So if I can't see the Kings not being successful if Fox is handling his business night in and night out. Now, if it doesn't work out, whether it's on Fox or it's not, the people outside of Sacramento and especially the national media are going to see the same thing that they always say. It's the Kings. It's the Kings. Look at the Kings. The Kings didn't know what to do with De'Aaron Fox. The Kings let De'Aaron Fox be less than Ja Morant. The Kings did this. The Kings did that. They just can't figure it out. Look, they made Mike Brown a worse coach. They won't even listen to Mike Brown and play better defense. So the national media is always going to blame it on the Kings. And when we start winning, because eventually we will, even if it's 40 years from now, they're still not going to give us credit until we win, and we're a good team for like at least 6-7 seasons. So that's my answer. It's two separate groups.
Man, get that negativity out of here 40 years from now. Come on, man. Come on.
Come on,
all right,
kid.
Pete.
Come on, man.
Pete, what do you think, Pete? Is all the pressure on De'Aaron Fox this season?
You know what? It has to be, right. This team is centered around him. Monty McNair has, addressed the shooting that we needed around De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis this offseason. It has to be on him because, I'll just talk about this offseason in the summer is like, he's got to be held accountable on the defensive end. He's got to be a better defender. We know Sabonis is going to cook. We know he's going to do his thing. He's going to get his double-doubles. We know the shooters are going to do their thing. They're going to shoot the ball. Davion's going to do his thing off the bench. Rashawn's going to do his thing. But, Fox, not doubting his talents. He's going to do his thing, but he's got to be that guy, man. He's got to be that guy defensively to be held accountable and be a better defender. And the pressure's on him. And I think that knowing that he knows that the pressure's on him, I'll just talk, around the NBA world and, even just the overall in the community in Sacramento. He has to be the guy that if the Kings don't want to do anything or if they want to climb the Western Conference ladder, they want to go places, if they want to go be, talked as, being the playoff caliber team, he knows he has to be the guy. And I think that you're going to probably see a different De'Aaron Fox this season. And when I say a different De'Aaron Fox is he's going to be, hungry. He's going to be motivated to be better. He's going to do better. In the past, we've seen players that returned, that he just was questioning, like, why are they returning back? And I'm talking about, players like Buddy and Marvin Bagley. Those two are gone now.
Yep.
Luke Walton's gone, even though his relationship with Luke Walton was great. But we know why Luke Walton's gone. The team wasn't going anywhere under his leadership. So the fact that you bring in Mike Brown, who's going to help De'Aaron Fox defensively, the fact that you bring De'Aaron Fox's buddy, Malik Monk, and you have another shooter in Kev, you draft Keegan Murray, that's another, shooter for De'Aaron Fox. You just see that the team is centered around De'Aaron Fox for him to take that next level, to succeed and perform at a level that we haven't seen. I think that he's going to thrive. I honestly do think that he's going to thrive. He's going to be himself. Yeah, we want him to shoot the ball more, but the fact that he has shooters around him, technically he doesn't have to shoot the ball much. You know, he can just play his game, play his style. And I think that he's going to be hungry. He's going to be motivated. This is the first time in his era, in his tenure with the Sacramento Kings, he has pieces around him that will help elevate him in his game and for him to take that next level. So yeah, the pressure's on him. I think he's gonna just embrace it, and he's gonna thrive under that pressure. So.
Yeah, great point. I think that basically all the excuses are gone at this point, right? You mentioned the coaching staff. You mentioned some of the other players. They surrounded him with shooters. They brought in defense. They finally brought in another player that's, I think, on the same level or better than De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. But De'Aaron Fox is ultimately the leader of this team, right? So this team only goes as far as he takes them. So I think all of the pressure is on De'Aaron Fox this season. We saw him get married. Congratulations to him. We saw him leave the honeymoon early to come back and start working in Sacramento. All good things, all things that us as Kings fans want to see. So the pressure is there. The stage is set, right? So either you melt under the pressure or the pressure creates diamonds. And this is De'Aaron Fox's season. I think he's going to have a terrific one. But yeah, I mean, the pressure is there. Not going to deny it. It's on him. If the Kings lose, it's all on him. If they make it, he's probably not going to get all the credit, but I think he deserves a ton of it. So I think this is going to be a huge year for De'Aaron Fox. Let's talk a little bit about Monte McNair, because he is the man kind of behind this team, right? He's made all these moves happen. He finally brought in his guy at the head coaching position after saying that Luke Walton was his guy for the past 2 seasons. What does Monte McNair, what else does he need to do to get a contract extension at this point? Because I think this is absolutely ridiculous that it's even gotten this far, right? Like, give Monte the contract extension. He's killed it in the last 3 drafts. He brought in an all-star. He brought in his head coach. Let's align his contract with Mike Brown and revisit it at the end of 2-3 years from now and see where they've gotten us, because you're not going to get anywhere switching out players, coaches every other season. Pete, I'm going to let you take this one first. What is going on with this Monte McNair extension? You have any idea?
You know, it's crazy. I honestly think that it's ridiculous it's taken this long to even have him, be extended. He's, like you said, Barry, he's hit on all of this, draft picks so far, and as a general manager for the Kings. He's traded for a 2-time NBA All-Star in Domantas Sabonis, who will probably get his 3rd NBA All-Star nod this upcoming season if he continues to ball out. Monte McNair has improved this team dramatically from where he took over it back into 2020, and I don't think they're far off. I know I've heard him say that, hey, when the time is right, we'll talk about it and we'll negotiate and we'll hopefully, agree to a deal. But I think you can argue the fact that could be just all talk of him saying that, coming out to the public and saying that. But deep down, I think he wants that extension before the season starts. And they should extend him. He's brought in the coach that's going to oversee your team the next 3 to 4 seasons. And why not extend him before the season starts and let him ride? Let him ride this out. Let him see where this goes. And he deserves it. In my opinion, he deserves the extension. Yeah, in the time that he's been here, he's shifted the roster in the way that he wants it to, wants it to be. And yeah, the Kings have not been around 500 and have not made the playoffs, but I think this season will tell a lot. If they're if they're near 500, he deserves the extension, and that's my opinion on that. And I really do believe that he will get that extension. What I don't want to happen is they don't agree to extension and it becomes a distraction, and he starts cleaning house. So by trading players that he traded for, and it's just he leaves a sour taste in Vivek before he leaves. But honestly speaking, I think he deserves it. He's done really well here in his tenure here so far. And I do think that he will get that extension and he'll see this thing right out.
Phoenix, I appreciate you atting us on Twitter. Unfortunately, Calvin has the Twitter account. Unfortunately, I do not have the login on this computer, so I cannot show that data. But if you drop it in the chat, we'll be happy to bring it up. Also, shout out to Tito. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Love Chat 1XYC, the best adult dating site. But Skip, what do you think on this Monty McNair extension? And I see somebody in the chat here, Key Kings, has got a good point. Do you think Monty could be possibly betting on himself?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say I have a slightly different take than majority of people. I can easily see, Monty McNair has shown himself to be, a very methodical person. We see reoccurring themes with the types of players that he goes after, him getting to pick his coach with the type of coach he's gone after, the type of players that he's drafted. We see a reoccurring theme, and we can all attest that Monty McNair is a methodical individual, a process-based, general manager and businessman, and this is a business. I believe that Vivek may have, given him an offer, and it was not to Monty McNair's liking, and he probably went about it in a way that said, that is not insulting, but just merely said, I appreciate this offer, but what I would like to do is to take this season to show you the culmination of everything I've done here so far. I appreciate that you see that I'm competent and I do good work, but I can give you even better results than that. And I would like to then have a compensation conversation after I show you the results of my work this season. So I don't believe that this is merely, Vivek Ranadive, trying to stress Monty McNair out to coax, a better performance and result out of him as a general manager. I personally believe that he was offered something, and then he said, you know what? Let's have a conversation after I give you one more look at the type of work that I could actually do. So, and why not? If you've done this well to where you've been given, some sort of offer, why not bet on yourself and then show them how much more you are really worth by doing even better this time around? Because I just don't see the Kings doing worse than we did last season with these roster improvements and this head coaching staff that we've got now.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that being a possibility. So that is an absolute great point. That's a great point. All right, we got some stats here, some data on Fox. In 20 games without Tyrese Halliburton, 24-year-old De'Aaron Fox averaged 28.3 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, 6.2 assists per game on 50% shooting, 37.9 from three-point range, and 75.8 from the free throw line. He was hyper-aggressive killer at the rim, even though he was in the 0th percentile in rim shot quality. Can he finally lead Sacramento to the playoffs? A lot of good stats here. I don't know what this means as far as winning basketball games, but Pete, what do you think here? Can you see this, or Skip?
Let's take a look and let's see.
The numbers. Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, Pete.
Oh no, you got it, Pete.
Oh yeah, no, the numbers don't lie. He thrived after the Tyrese Halliburton trade, and will that translate into more wins this upcoming season, or will his numbers even be superior than what these numbers show after the Halliburton trade? I think it will translate into wins, man. I honestly think that it'll translate into wins. We got a small form factor of how he played after the Halliburton trade, and even with Domas. We're going to get to see that, for a full season now. And, they're both healthy, and let's hope they both stay healthy when the season starts. And I think you'll see it translate into wins.
Yeah, the key is they got to be able to do this for the entire season, right? They were talking about that earlier today, I think on ESPN, how a college season is 1/3 of an NBA regular season. And a lot of players, especially young players, there's concerns for guys like Keegan Murray being able to do that for the entire season. That's something we still haven't seen out of De'Aaron Fox, right? He's either started off the season incredibly well or he's ended the season really well. He hasn't really done that for the entire season That's what I'm looking for him to do this year. But Skip, go for it.
I was just chatting with Phoenix in the chat and just saying, like people like, as much as we like De'Aaron Fox, the fans of Fox that are in this Kings fandom, even us, like sometimes we forget because we get frustrated and stuff with him in the losses, but he is elite at the rim and has been at least for the last 2 seasons. And I know a lot of people forget, but we had that major rule change because remember, Fox just last season had finally consistently learned how to draw fouls at the rim and get to the free throw line. And of course, since he wasn't super successful at the free throw line, that only did so much, but it's still like learning one thing at a time, right? He learned how to draw the fouls. Then we had that rule change of how fouls were called when people were attacking the rim. And I remember him getting so frustrated, and Kings fans getting so frustrated with him not getting the calls that that he drew, and then also calls where he was just the Harden calls, and then also just when he was getting flattened like a pancake and it wasn't getting called. So him, he started to get back to that towards the end of the season. He adjusted to the rule change when Sabonis got here. He was really hot with it. So having someone who sets even better screens consistently than Rashawn Holmes and whoever else we had filling in at the center spot, playing that pick and roll game, having a better passer to where they can do a 2-man game and he's slashing and then finishing at the rim like that, having, Monk on the floor at times and them just, attacking and being super aggressive in the paint and all the paint touches that Mike Brown said that he wants to have. De'Aaron Fox is going to eat in the paint this year, and him having Sabonis down there knowing that he can clean up. We know the kind of cleanup work that Keegan can do when he's given opportunities. Fox is going to feel a lot more comfortable about going at the rim and attacking guys, and it's going to pay dividends for the Kings.
Yeah, Phoenix is pointing out here that this graphic is showing things that De'Aaron Fox needs to work on. As you can see, the grade on the right side there, drive pass out rate, drive assist rate, drive assist to pass, and then you can't see it, it's a little bit below, but rim shot quality are all things that he needs to improve on. I know the Kings are very, very statistically oriented these days, so I'm sure De'Aaron Fox probably has an entire binder on this stuff at this point. All right, so we got one last thing to talk about today, but before we dive into that, I just want to ask both of you guys, what thing are you most excited about in this upcoming season? Pete, I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm mostly excited to see a full season of De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis together. I think that we were pretty excited in the small form factor of what we got when we traded for Sabonis. Excited to see them play for a full season and see where we go with them together at the helm. I'm excited to see my guy Davion Mitchell take that leap in year 2. I think a lot of people are known for his defensive capabilities, but I think offensively they're going to see how good he is going to be offensively this season. He's going to have the freedom coming off the bench and to put up shots and to run the offense. And I think that I've seen fans over the summer debate fourth quarter crunch time lineups, this and that, who's going to be on the court. Don't be surprised if you see Davion Mitchell on the court with Fox and the rest of the players during the crunch time, because his best asset is his defensive capabilities, and you got to have a lockdown defender when the game's on the line. So I'm excited for the Fox and the Ox, and I'm excited to see Davion Mitchell take the leap in year 2, and Keegan Murray as well. I'm excited for him as well, man. Loved what I saw over the summer. Really think that's going to translate over into the season. And he just seems like he's just that calm and poised rookie. He's got that Tim Duncan mentality, like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to flex. I'm just going to be the quiet, winner that I am. And I love that about him. I love that about him. So I'm excited for him as well, man.
Yeah, kind of Harrison Barnes is kind of that way too as well. What about you, Skip? Thing you're most excited about this upcoming Sacramento Kings season?
With the moves that Monty McNair has made, especially on the offensive side of the ball, we have a lot of things, in my opinion, to be excited about. The playmaking with Fox and Ox, You know, just the dogs that we have, you know, and then the second string. So much, you know, Fox dunking again because Malik Monk is there and straight up said, nah, I'm gonna get Fox dunking again. You know, we got a lot of things to be very excited about. But the thing that I'm the most excited about, I'm gonna be super basic. I just love the floor spacing that we have. Like just that simple thing. Though everybody's shooting at, you know, or above 40% from three with Keegan, you know, with Barnes, you know, with Monk, you know, with Herter. I'm just gonna be, because it's not just Fox who's gonna be kicking out and finding guys. Sabonis, you know, got a little bit of his daddy in him. We talk about a lot of people having that dog in him, but Sabonis got that daddy in him where he can smooth pass. So the people that he's just going to be making those simple passes to that are going to be wide open, man, I love the deep range. You know, not potential, but the deep range reality of a Kevin Herter. I love the confident shot and, you know, just like clean mechanical stroke of a Keegan Murray. I love that shoot off the Cook and, you know, that pull up and then that driving shot that just hits the back of the rim from Malik Monk. Man, the 3-point shots that are going to be dropping in Sacramento. I mean, yo, get your umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Hide your kids, hide your wives, find some shelter. Sac going to be bombing from three this year, and it's going to be beautiful.
Hell yeah.
And I wanted to say, you know, don't be surprised if the Sacramento Kings are one of the best 3-point shooting teams this upcoming season. We have the shooters and we have the offense to display that. And I think that they're going to be one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league this upcoming season. So,
yeah, maybe
absolutely.
Mike Brown
I want to add
a thing or two in Golden State, right? Because they love to shoot the three ball.
Maybe just me. I want to say one more thing. I know Monk talked about getting Fox to dunk again, but you know who else is going to be dunking more this season? Davion Mitchell. You think he's not going to catch that bug from Fox and Monk dunking? Like we saw him jump out the gym and surprise people. Yo, like don't think it's just going to be Fox and Monk that's going to be in on the alley-oops and, you know, and Holmes just going to be in and alley-oops. Like, yo, my prediction is that Davion Mitchell is going to catch an alley-oop this season, and people are not going to see it coming, and the roof is going to come off of the Golden One Center. Like, they're going to have to put a new roof on Golden One Center when Davion Mitchell catches an alley-oop. Mark my words.
Oh, man, I really hope so. All right, last question from Phoenix here. Predictions for where the Kings end up offensively. Top 5, top 10, top 15. Pete, I'm gonna let you answer real quick first, and then I'll dish it to you, Skip.
You know, I said they'll be one of the best 3-point shooting teams offensively in the league, and knowing that the pieces that they have surrounded, you know, with Fox and the Ox, yeah, I'm gonna say top 5. You know, if as crazy as that sounds, I'm gonna say the Kings will have a top 5 offense this upcoming season.
Skip. That's bold.
I'm gonna. That's bold, and I like it. Be bold, Pete. Be bold. Yo, you know, I'm gonna say the floor is a top 10 offense. I'm gonna say that's the floor, because another thing, even though he hasn't said it, but we all know, like, it's something our team is built for it. We've been moving towards it, whether we're closer to it or farther away. But it's also going to be the pace that we're playing with, because when you got a bunch of people that can cover the floor fast, you know, we know Fox is fast, but we saw Davion, you know what I'm saying, like tearing up the wood, like just getting down the floor. We see how fast Monk can be when we're watching his highlights and all of that stuff. Like, we're going to have a lot of really, really fast play. And Sabonis, with his court vision and him placing the ball properly, him grabbing that defensive rebound and getting that ball down the floor, we're going to play with pace, the type of pace that we should play with. And it's going to be very exciting. So with the pace that we're playing with, the shooters that we got, the playmakers that we got, the ISO players that we got, I mean, man, we just got so many weapons. I'm saying the floor is a top 10 offense. And, you know, it could go as far as, you know, top 6. Let's see. Pete, prove me wrong. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Oh, man.
Let's do it. I would absolutely love to see that. I would love to see that happen. But here's the question, right? Like, is it because the Kings defense is so bad that their offense has got to pull them through? Or if the Kings defense actually ends up being pretty effective here, they can lock people down, they can slow it down a little bit, and then that could affect their offensive rating as well, right? Anyways,
Absolutely.
let's go ahead here and jump into the final thing of the day. This is a lot of fun. I know I sent this to both of you guys ahead of time. I've been arguing with all of my friends all week long about this list. But let's build your all-time starting 5. You got $15. We got a bunch of different guys on this list. Which one of you guys wants to go first?
Pete, I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
Oh man.
Pete, the floor is yours.
So when he sent me this earlier, oh man, I sat there for like an hour, like, oh my god, what, like, what, how, what? Okay, that. But I wanted to ask, is it one? Can it be 2 players from the same row? Can it be, or just one player from each row?
I think you can have anybody in any row. You just can't go over $15. And then what I'm assuming here is that it's the player plus their background, right? So this is like Orlando, Dwight Howard. This is Lakers, LeBron. This is Houston, James Harden.
Oh man. Whew. Okay.
You need a few
made it
minutes?
that much tougher, man. Yeah, Skip. I mean, if you're ready, man, I'm gonna need a few minutes, man.
All right, let me see what I can do real quick. Okay, so I got to start with my GOAT. So we're going with MJ, and then I'm going straight to Curry. So we got our
$9,
our point guard and our shooting guard. Yeah, okay, yeah. Keep my money, man. Keep track of the money. I'm a spender, baby. I spend it all. Okay, and then next I'm going with Shaq. So we got our center locked down.
Okay, $12.
So we're at 12. Okay, cool. So I got $3 to work with. Okay. And then let's see. I'm gonna go. Man, yeah, this gets real tough. This gets really, really tough. I'm gonna go KD, and then we playing 4-on-5 basketball. What's up? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not going KD. I'm gonna go Dennis Rodman. For my 4. Yep. Oh,
if he doesn't go to Russia and get caught.
if he doesn't go to Russia and get caught, or Korea, North Korea, and then finally for my small forward, I'm gonna put Reggie at the small forward spot. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. You
need
the guy to take
guy
the big
in the
shot.
top 75, right? Never been on all NBA first, second team, never been on all defensive team, never won a title, never won an MVP.
Look, his sister is a better basketball player, but you got to respect the man, okay? All right, that's my team. That's my squad.
Awesome. Hold on one second. I got to get love chat out of the chat here again. If you guys want it, you better click on it real quick because I'm deleting it. And I'm going to block this person. Yeah. Wow. If you're looking for love, don't go to YouTube, chat.
Yeah, that's the wrong place to find it.
All right. You guys ready for
unless
my
you
5?
love the Kings.
What
you got, Barry?
I've been thinking about this all week. Like I said, I've been arguing with people. It's tough, but I got to start at the top, right? The $5. If I'm at the grocery store and I got a budget, I'm shopping for the most expensive things first. I got to get my steak, my lobster. I got to put them all in the cart, and then I'll fill out the rest. So for me, I'm taking the 2 greatest players of all time. I'm taking LeBron, and I'm taking Michael Jordan.
Okay.
That's $10. Okay. I know. 2 guys, $10. That's a lot. I'm a big spender. I'm ready. I got the Platinum American Express. I'm ready to go all the way to the bank. So that's 2 guys, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm going all the way to the discount aisle, and I'm looking all the way at the bottom. I see 2 guys on this list that are criminally underpriced. First off, I got to go with my guy CP3. This is Clippers CP3. This is not Phoenix CP3. He's a good player and all, but I think he was much better on the Clippers. And I think he is one of the best point guards of all time. Obviously a friend of LeBron, blah, 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 all that. So that puts me at $11. I got CP3 at the point guard. I got MJ, and then I got LeBron at the 3. I'm also taking Dwight Howard. I think Dwight Howard, Orlando Dwight Howard, this is Defensive Player of the Year. This is top rebounder. He's going to bring some defense. I would love to take Shaq, one of these other guys, but I got to take Dwight for $1, right? $1, Bob, $1. That leaves me with $3 left, and I'm in a predicament here because I got CP3, I got Jordan, I got LeBron, and I got Dwight. I need a 4, right? There's 2 guys here that I'm having a really, really tough time deciding between. There's KG, who obviously great defender, can space the floor. No, he's not hitting a ton of threes, but he can space the floor. I think he's a leader. I think he could light a fire under some of these guys. Not that you need that when you already have CP3 and MJ on your team. But I can't decide between KD or KG. KD's going to give me more shooting. He's going to space the floor a little bit more. KG's going to bring a little bit more offense. Can you guys help me decide?
Ooh, man, KG's my guy. So I mean, I just gotta. I mean, we both born in the same place. We got that same mentality. You know what I'm saying? Just very passionate guys. You know what I mean? That sound weird when they talk. We got very distinctive voices. I'm going with KG, man. I'm going with the man child.
Yeah, and he's making sandwiches at halftime and everything, dude. We don't gotta hire a catering crew.
You saving money.
What do you think?
Budget conscious.
Man, as much as I love the KG and what he did throughout his career, I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant, man. It's just hard for me to pass up on Kevin Durant. So he's the perfect fit for your team at the 4, and he does it all, man. I'm gonna go with KD, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. Obviously, these 2 guys are both incredible. But what do you guys think of my squad? Is that a good starting 5? Can you beat it?
It's a great starting 5.
That's
a great starting 5.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, man. Yeah, dang. Bron, MJ. I can't stand Bron, but you know what I'm saying, I respect him. So, yeah. See,
right,
but I
Pete.
want y'all to notice something. Oh, dang, I tried to avoid putting Lakers in my lineup at all, but I couldn't pass up on Shaq. I feel like I just cheated on the whole Kings fandom by just putting a Laker in my lineup. I'm sorry, y'all. My fault.
Dude, I had somebody comment on a video a couple weeks ago, and he's like, yo, why are all your favorite players Lakers? And I'm like, dude, I love a lot of players on a lot of teams. It's not my fault. They always end up in LA or Boston, dude. It's like I'm an A's fan too. All my favorite players end up with the Yankees, man. It's just it's what happens when you're a small market fan. But Pete, the heat's on you, man. Who's your starting 5? You got $15.
All right, man. So I had some time to kind of, digest what your guys' 5 look like. But I'm just gonna say this. Looking at the $5 row, my GOAT, Michael the Great Jordan, got to take him there. And then I'm gonna go with Kobe Bryant. Yes, he's killed our Sacramento Kings over the years, and he's a legends never die, man. So I always admired and respect his game, and he's done a lot for the game. So Kobe will be my 2. I'm gonna have Jordan at the 3, so Kobe at the 2, and then
That's
this next
$9.
player, yep. And then the next player, I'm gonna choose Kevin Durant. I know the graphic shows the Brooklyn Nets Kevin Durant, but I'm gonna go with the Golden State Warrior Kevin Durant. Very dominant.
You could choose. I didn't know you had an option to choose what team they were on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant, man. So I'm gonna go Durant, and then I like Hakeem, man. Growing up as a kid, watching them, growing up, I know 14. Shaq was very dominant, but I like Hakeem a lot. The Dream, man. I like him a lot. I loved his game offensively, just like the Dream Shake, the offensive moves and arsenal in his game. It was just fun to watch him growing up as a kid, man. So I got Hakeem, so I'm at 14. And then I'm going to go with the point guard to run my team. I'm going to go with Chris Paul, man, the point guard,
Yeah.
Just has, just the way he plays the game, just the floor general, the desire, the hunger, and I'm gonna have him run my squad, man. So there's my 5: Jordan, Kobe, KD, Hakeem, and Paul.
That's a great squad, man. That's a great squad. Like I said, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer here. This is just a fun debate. A lot of great players. I feel lucky to have seen so many of these guys play. And I actually got to see a lot of these guys play in real life, which is actually really, really cool. I love seeing all your guys' picks here. I see Key King says CP3, Kobe, Bird, KG, Shaq. Phoenix says Steph, Reggie, LeBron, KG, and Dwight. Charlie, Iverson, Kobe, Durant, KG, Shaq. JN says Magic, Bird, Shaq, Rodman, Miller. Also, we got to give a shout out to Tanvir. I give Tanvir a T, man. This is my Tanvir. Shout out to Tanvir. Thank you for joining us. All right, I guess we can open it up here. You guys got a few more minutes to take on some questions, or what's your guys' schedule? I know it's a lot later for you guys than it is for me. So, are you guys able to go a little bit longer?
Yeah, I got another 20 minutes.
What about you, Pete?
Yeah, I can go longer. Yeah.
All right, if you guys got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We greatly appreciate it. We're here for you guys. We love to answer all these questions. And just so you guys know, Calvin is on vacation for the next 2 weeks. He might be available to call in for a show or two, but I'd love to have Pete or Skip back, or both of you guys on any of those if you guys are available. We are doing live on Tuesday and Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also Basketball at the Bar, our other all-NBA channel, on Wednesday nights, same time. And then Pete and Skip, I don't know if you guys entered in already, but we're giving away a $250 Fanatics gift card on the Basketball at the Bar channel. All you got to do is click on that video, like it, write your favorite team down below, and you'll be entered to win that gift card. So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't already.
Will do.
Oh man,
Appreciate it.
just speaking of Fanatics, man, I had a gift card I just used on the 49ers jersey. I just got my Nick Bosa jersey in today, and I'm like, whoa, this Fanatics, man, just shipped it out real quick, and I'm like, yo, that was quick. Like, shipped wasn't a business day, so I got it in today, and I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm pretty excited for the new season that the 49ers are going to have this season, and excited to see Nick Bosa healthy and beast out this season. So yeah.
Did they win today?
No, they lost. They didn't put any points up today. Oh, what the heck, offense? That O-line was terrible today. Granted, it's preseason, but they lost. They ended up losing 17-0.
Ouch. I got some relatives visiting right now. They are huge 49ers fans. I'm going to go have dinner with them after this, so I will definitely have to let them know, because I'm a Rams fan myself. I know they're in LA now, but I've been a Rams fan for a really, really long time. But we had a question here in the chat. I missed it earlier. They're talking about new jerseys for this season for the Kings. Have either of you guys heard any information on when the new jerseys are going to be coming out and what they might look like?
Nah, I haven't heard anything.
I've heard from a credible insider that they are going to be having a new city jersey launching in November, but it will be unveiled in October. And he said that we are going to have the 20-year anniversary Kings jerseys from the back in the days, the 2002 days, the black ones. So this credible source has leaked. He's very credible, so I trust his knowledge on these leaks, and I think fans are going to be excited. For that. So, but I will say this: if you do wear those jerseys on the court, you better believe that you better play like the team like they did back in the day. So that's just my opinion, just my take. You know, hopefully the jerseys will help them win some more games, and yeah, it has me excited. So hopefully that leak is legit true, and he's had a good track record. So he's leaked the last two city jerseys, the Sacktown one last season, and then the red, white, and black Sacktown one 2 seasons ago. So trust his source, and yeah, be excited. So
I thought I heard some rumors about the gold jerseys coming back. Is that not happening, or no, Skip?
You know you didn't hear no rumors about no gold jerseys. You just want them gold jerseys back. I don't know why you want them trolling, trash, fool's gold looking gold coin chocolate on the inside jerseys back. I don't know why you want them things back, Barry. You know what? And you just might get it one day too. But for the love of all Kings fandom, I hope we never see them jerseys ever again.
I'm cool with the gold, man. It was too thick up top. I didn't like how thick it was. You make this a little bit thinner like a normal jersey. I'm totally cool with the gold jerseys. But all right, we got a question here from Phoenix. It's not Kings related, but who do you guys think wins in a 7-game series? The 2017 Golden State Warriors or the 01 Lakers? My first question is, who's refereeing the series? But who do you think, Pete?
As much as I hate the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm going to say the 2017 Golden State Warriors. Offensively, they just were too much, man. Offensively, 1 through 5, they were just too damn much. Yeah, Shaq is in his prime, was very dominant, and they probably have nobody on that 2017 team to contain or guard him. But who else on that 2001 Laker team is going to guard 2017 Golden State Warriors team offensively 1 through 5? So I think the Golden State Warriors, 2017 Warriors, I take them over them.
He's clarifying now. He says 2016 Warriors versus 01 Lakers. But Skip, I'm gonna let you go for it.
I'm not gonna give the Lakers anything. No, I'm going with the Warriors. I'm going with the lesser of two evils. The Lakers can lose every game for the rest of their existence, and I would be nothing but elated. I'm not giving them this game, not whatsoever. I'm going with the Warriors. That's the team that would win. They would spank them. I don't care if Draymond Green is 150 pounds smaller than Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I'm saying? And I know they have Bogut at that time too. I mean, Bogut, he's going to get knocked around because you can't stop Shaq. But Shaq is literally going to be confused. He's going to be like, hold on, wait. All they doing is shooting threes? Who shoots this many threes? It's just going to be insane. So I'm going with the Warriors. Down with the Lakers. Downfall, downfall, downfall. I'm trying to redeem myself from picking Shaq earlier. Yeah, downfall, downfall, downfall.
Oh, that sounds like a true Kings fan. We all know that you picked Shaq, the Kings' potential owner or partial owner in that last one, not Shaq, the Lakers center. So that's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny.
I didn't pick the Sacramento Queens Shaq. I picked Sacramento Shaq. Just to clarify.
Oh, Sacramento Shaq. That's awesome. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Want to give a shout out to Skip from Sacktown Breakdown for joining us. A shout out to Pete. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes real quick. Skip, can you tell everybody what you're up to this next upcoming season and where they can find you?
This next upcoming season, I am going to throw my mental health to the wind, and I'm going to cover the Sacramento Kings yet again. Every game we'll get a breakdown, just like seasons before I went insane and this team stopped playing defense and stopped believing in themselves. So the Sacktown Breakdown is where you can find me on Twitter, Sacktown Breakdown on YouTube as well, and Sacktown Breakdown on Twitch. Usually I'll go live on Twitch, then I'll upload it to YouTube same night, or it'll go there the next morning. So I mean, I literally had one episode where I think I just said no the whole entire time. I just pulled up stats and I just showed the score and I just said no for like 12 minutes straight. So if you want to deal with the insanity that is Skip from the Sacktown Breakdown, definitely find me in those three places and we will get through this Kings season together.
And we'll definitely have you back here on the show. That is for sure. Pete, tell everybody what they can expect from you this upcoming season and where they can find you.
Yeah. You guys can find me on YouTube at Sacktown Pete. I usually do post-game videos every post-game on the road or at home. I plan on doing some vlogs too, where I'm attending the games. Usually if you guys follow me on Twitter, if you guys don't, you guys can find me on Twitter at Sacktown Pete. I usually, if I'm going out to the games, I'm going to be vlogging. I'll definitely update you guys there on Twitter. And if you guys don't follow me on YouTube, you guys can follow me on there as well at Sacktown Pete. I can want to relate to what Skip said about mental health wise. My mental health was driving me crazy after so many post games, doing the post games throughout the season last season, just due to the way we lost games. man, it was hard, man. It was hard, but I just made a commitment of getting it done and just dropping the knowledge, man. But let's hope that all of our Kings fans in the Kingdom's mental health is better this season, and it should be, man, because you guys should be excited. It's going to be a fun season. You know, this team's going to be better, and let's hope that they, you know, push through and make us all Sacramento proud. So that's where you guys can find me at on Twitter and YouTube at Sacktown Pete. Barry, thank you guys so much for having me, man. Calvin, missed you today, buddy, but hope to see you eventually. And Skit, man, I'm glad you're back. I look forward to seeing you as well, man.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I was watching those videos when them Sacktown Pete post-game videos got shorter and shorter. Eventually, they was almost so short they could be YouTube shorts. I was like, they're breaking Pete. They're breaking Pete. All hope is lost. They're breaking Pete. But yeah, tune into Pete. That's my guy. Pete was committed. I appreciated it because he did what I couldn't do. So let's get it, Sacktown. Let's get it.
It's tough, man. It is so tough, right? Like, I went from when the Kings would lose games, I wouldn't want to watch TV. I wouldn't want to watch ESPN the whole rest of the night. I wouldn't want to talk to anybody, to like, okay, you got to get on a YouTube Live, answer everybody's questions, make everyone feel okay, show your emotions, but at the same time, not show your true emotions. So it is a tough job, but having you guys all here really makes it worthwhile. So I appreciate you guys all so much. Please make sure to smash up that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe to the Sacktown Breakdown on YouTube. Subscribe to Sacktown Pete also on YouTube as well. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff with these guys throughout this entire season. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, go Kings.